Michael Parks is considered one of the top pipe makers in the world. He's been profiled in Pipes and Tobacco and Tobacco Days magazine. A custom set of Michael's pipes recently sold to a private collector for close to $10,000.
Starting out, I didn't have a mentor. In many ways, I'm self-taught. Really have a love for woodworking and sculpture. So then I went to fine art school, and I found that there was this community, this like niche market for fine craft, and just started to work at that, gave that a shot. I'm inspired by, well, the creation of beauty and functional art. That means a lot to me. And also that my work is appreciated and used. The pipes end up in people's collections. They travel around the world. And, there's a bit of a heritage. They'll exist for hundreds of years, maybe. So.
A Parks custom-designed pipe can take 2 months or longer to finish. Initially, he had no problem keeping up with the demand. But 4 years ago, when Michael suddenly found himself moving into mass production mode, when an order from the North American Society of Pipe Collectors came in. Faced with delivering 43 pipes, he had to hire on an assistant. Tyler's become his right-hand man.
The process of making a pipe, it's a series of steps. It can start from an image or maybe a design idea that's a discussion between myself and a collector. I'll choose a block of wood that either the grain aligns a certain way or I think I may be able to achieve a certain finish from. Be that a smooth or a sandblasted or a rusticated, like hand-tooled finish. And from there, the block is then squared, mapped out, drilled, and then a stem is rough-shaped and fitted from solid rod, and then from there, it's broken down into a rough shape through the bandsaw and on a belt sander. And then from that point, it really becomes handwork. A little bit of power sanding, but not much, and then a lot of hand filing and hand sanding and shaping and eventual staining and finishing. In pipe making, certain pipe makers' finishes certainly can be a hallmark, and in my case it is. Actually, my finishes are highly regarded. It's a bit of a secret though, and something I don't discuss very often. It's also quite labor intensive, but the outcome's beautiful. It's a beautiful product. In pipe making, unlike some other forms of woodworking, it's acceptable to stain and try and color the wood. And that's a part of the artistry, is enhancing and pulling and creating the beauty.
His unique architectural approach to his craft puts a whole new spin on the traditional pipe.
Some of my defining works, I think, would be the more sculptural works. I have a few examples of pipes like that. I did a pair of church wardens, which are a longer styled pipe. And then I did a variation on that called roots and leaves, where roots were essentially thin tendrils of wood that wrapped from the shank of the pipe and then around the bowl. And then leaves were these thin leaflets of wood that seemingly the bowl sprung out of. And it was pretty interesting, very fragile, very thin. When people see my work, I often hear that I don't even smoke a pipe and I want to buy one. People love the work. And I think part of what they find so attractive is that it's something made for the hand. It's sculpture to the hand.
Parks' passion for pipe making runs through the entire process, from the original design through to the hand finishing work. But once a pipe is complete, the piece takes on a different meaning.
I think And ultimately, maybe my favorite thing is when a pipe is finished. I really enjoy there's something interesting that happens when the work is done and the piece is finished. It sort of stands on its own. And I feel as though maybe I didn't even make it. It has its own life, its own existence, kind of. And for me to stand back and appreciate that, I find that really, really satisfying and rewarding. And I can see it kind of as it is, as a thing unto itself.
Despite his love of sculpture and having come from a fine arts background, Michael Parks is clear about where pipe making falls within the art world.
I'm totally at peace with how pipes are received in the world. I don't feel that what I'm making needs to be showcased in the Louvre. I don't feel that it's the place for it.